right, now we here on Happy Hour have been hearing from union workers. Many of you work 6 or 7 days a week. You've never been this scared in your lives about your retirement, your job, taking care of the kids, getting them through school. And the UAW gets beaten up, sometimes for good reason, but the rank and file are the heartbeat of this country. I know, my family did it too. So we got to get some help on how to pull you out of this, get some opportunity from this mess. And here, who better to have than our enterprising ensemble, our profit pair. I love these guys, and they're going to be with me tomorrow, all morning, John Rutledge and Dani Babb. And if any two people can help figure out how to find entrepreneurship in this mess, it's you two. So what do we do?
Well, there's no way to sugarcoat the pain that's happening. But in bankruptcy, it's often true that there are not big layoffs. It's called bankruptcy protection for a reason. You protect the company from its creditors. So the operating guys, I think, are not going to be the eye of the hurricane on this thing. It may well be the white-collar guys in the offices. But also, I've seen this movie before. In the 1980s, we went through the same thing. We completely restructured the steel industry in America. And now if you go around Pittsburgh, you find out that it's a technology town, not a steel town so much anymore.
Bethlehem Steel is a casino.
Yes, absolutely.
How about that?
Dani,
absolutely, but it takes time. It takes time.
That underscores a great point. I mean, the innovation that will come from the destruction, the creative destruction of capitalism is basically what I've been trumpeting for the last year, you stupid Republican, Democrat, fascist.
Okay, well, beyond the fascist part, in terms of taking action, what people need to do, first of all, is get their financial situation in order and understand where they're at. I grew up in a union household. The one thing that you can count on is stability. When that stability goes away, you feel cheated by your union, by the company, and so on. So you want to take an overall assessment of where you're at. Know how much money you have in the bank and so on. And then put a plan together to get the empowerment back and feel like you have control, which you do, of what's going to happen next in your life. And sometimes it involves figuring out what you enjoyed most in your last job, how you can either turn that into a new business or rewrite your resume, and you may have to entirely move.
John, take us a couple years down the road. In Detroit, first of all, will there be any automakers in Detroit? And if there are 1, 2, or 3, what do you think?
Sure. Well, Ford's obviously going to end up as a monopoly car producer in America, and monopolists tend to do just fine over time. So I think they'll do well. Detroit's going to downsize from all this, but Dani's right. If you get yourself solid now, so you can survive the next year, 2 years, and try and find some other activity. The good thing today is the internet doesn't tie you to geography anymore. Being in Michigan is no different than being in any other place for starting businesses that are internet-based jobs.
John, if we're losing competition in the auto sector and there's no one there doing it, what about starting an auto company? Can I go out and find $10, $15, $20 million in financing, hire some smart guys that used to work at GM and actually create an innovative alternative to these big three, the small three?
I don't think so. I don't think anyone would give you the money
That would
to
be
do
no.
that. But I'll tell you, we had a motorcycle producer on our show 2 weekends ago, on our Saturday show, and they were starting a new electric motorcycle company. We've seen guys start little specialty car ventures, but basically the world industry is growing in the direction of Asia. And you've got
15, 20 million bucks.
Well, there's
I mean, if nothing else, you can get equipment for cheap. I mean,
that's
you
what
want
I'm
to
trying
go
to say.
make
I'm
one,
going to go buy some of these assets that are trying to deal out.
the other, if you don't want
BMW, Honda, Nissan,
there are alternatives. If you know that business well, you may very well be giving advice. You can't find a dealer anymore, right, to do your repairs. Why not start an online business to give advice because you were a mechanic or you know that part really well? Start an online business, give advice to people, charge for forum subscriptions, get creative. Start an internet business for under $5,000.
Absolutely, and be careful because the banks know that this is happening too, and you can expect banks to slam down every worker's credit line. So if you get any cash in your jeans, don't use it to pay off your bank loan because the bank will shrink your credit along with it.
And it also
keep the cash
the denominator of your credit score.
All right, this is why we love having these guys around, and exactly why they'll be with Dagan McDowell and I tomorrow from 10 to 2. Your questions, your money. We'll be there. Taking your calls, call in, get your entrepreneurial spark going, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. And you can pitch your small business idea. It's my favorite part of the show, to a venture capitalist. They literally let you go on air and pitch to a VC.